into the show. Let's get it started. Tonight's question is, what can we as women do to allow the men to feel safe to be vulnerable with us? It's a continuation from last week, right? We talked about why men don't feel that they can be safe and vulnerable around us. So now this week we're trying to fix the root of the issue, and we're switching it around to the ladies to see how much we got out of last week and see if we can help the men to feel safe and to want to be vulnerable with their women. So, as Dre just kindly replayed for us, he said that the ladies went first last week. So this week, we're handing it over to the men to start the show. So, Real Talk 87. What do you feel we can do to make men feel more safe and vulnerable?
Oh, so you're going to force me to talk today, huh? Okay.
She called you out, too.
Well, I mean, we want to make sure that you're heard.
Yes, we want to make sure you're very heard today.
It sounds like they're being funny and facetious. I don't know. I'm feeling this kind of energy.
No.
I'm being candidly Vee.
No.
Okay?
We want to make sure he's very
Not at all.
he's heard by all of us, okay?
I'm making sure everybody's heard, okay?
Yes.
But it's your turn to start, man. And I figured the Real should start this week because Dre actually started the last time when the men started. So I'm being fair. That's fair.
And
Okay. I'm going to be real quick. The first thing, you ain't got to, okay, whatever. The first thing women can do is, first of all, understand that your man is a human being and we have emotions just like women have emotions. Mm-hmm. First thing you got to understand. And second of all, don't rush him to be vulnerable to you. Give him time to open up to be vulnerable. Don't keep bugging him, asking him what's wrong. When a man feels safe enough to tell you what's wrong, he'll let you know. So just give him that time and space and give him and just have patience for him to know that, okay, it's okay. Then he can open up finally when he feels it's necessary for him to open up. That's it. I'm done. I'm in listening mode now.
No need to listen. It's an open conversation. Go ahead, Dre.
Well, if I can, I'll add to that because he's right. And I think the one thing that women want from us is also, most women, I don't want to say all, some women want from us, they also don't want from us. Because the second we start to share how we feel, they don't want to hear it, or they want to play a tennis match. A man can say, this is on my heart, and this is what you did made me feel this way. All of a sudden, it'll turn into, but you did this too, and so on and so forth. So for men don't go on seesaw battles. Most men aren't looking to get into, you did this, but you did this. Like that's not what we want. All right. So when men feel like they cannot share, they cannot open, if it keeps like return to them, right? Because let's talk about this. Women are vocal. They don't mind sharing and expressing what's on their heart, what's making them feel hurt. They can do that. Men, if they feel like what I'm about to say is not going to be received by the person that I'm telling it to, they would rather just not say anything at all. Most men, not all, most men value their words enough not to share it with people who aren't going to take it in. So if they're in a situation where they're having a conversation with a young lady and the young lady is not trying to hear what he has to say, he is not going to open up. He's not going to be vulnerable because he values his emotions. He values his feelings. He values his word. So and first off, and I think women, if you're out there, please listen to this. If he's willing to open up himself and be vulnerable, that's because he has given you a window or even a door, an opportunity to see inside him. And you got to take that opportunity. If you don't take that opportunity, he's going to shut that door forever. He's going to shut that window forever, and you would have lost him. Men don't open up to everybody, and they don't allow everybody inside that emotional safe place. And once he opens up that place to you and you make him feel like he's not being heard, he's going to shut the door and he will not open up again.
I have a follow-up question I'm just trying to be as respectful as I can 2021 moving forward. I have a follow-up question for Real Talk 87. How long should a woman wait for a man to be vulnerable if they have been in a relationship for some time?
There's no timetable. It's whenever he feels comfortable to do it. So it really depends on the type of woman you are. There's no timetable.
Agree.
So she's supposed to just make whatever adjustments to the relationship in order to make him feel like he is safe enough to open up?
She had to make adjustments. She don't have to if she don't want to. Mm-hmm. But it would be nice if she, you know, and that's the thing too. Like I said, it depends on the type of woman you are. Like if he is with a woman who, how can I say this without being disrespectful?
Sorry, I just interrupted everything just now. I'm so sorry. We lost Vee.
Well, no, actually, you didn't interrupt. You just came on and Harrison interrupted.
As men, we've been taught as little boys to not be so emotional. So it's not gonna 30 years down the line, it's not gonna you gotta allow longer than a few minutes or a few days or a few weeks for this man to finally start to open up to you. Because we've been taught for so many years not to be like that. So it's gonna take a long time for us to finally be like that. That's what it is.
That's a good point, actually.
So it kind of opens up and takes me back to last week when I asked the question, if you're not vulnerable or you don't feel safe to be vulnerable, then can a relationship truly work between the two individuals without a party being, without a party feeling safe to be vulnerable within that relationship?
I think it all boils down to trust. I mean, trust, it takes a while to build trust anyway. So if so many months or years go by and this man still ain't opening up to you, that should tell you something anyway. That should let you know that maybe he don't trust you enough yet.
I was going to say, so if you don't trust the person you're with, why are you in that relationship? Because I'm not getting with somebody that I don't trust yet. For me personally, I'm building that trust level up with you when we're dating and getting to know each other. That's where I'm building that trust up. So if I'm able to get to the point where I'm in a relationship with you, I trust you at this point. I'm trusting you in everything. So why is it different for men?
Because it's not a gender thing when it comes to that. I mean, some people, while they're dating, they automatically put their trust into somebody. Other people, they go into a relationship not completely trusting them. Mm-hmm. And they build it during the relationship. So everybody don't operate the same way. So
true. And everybody, so in their own time, they open up in their own time. When you're dating, and in fact, a lot of people aren't really opening up honestly in the dating stages. Mm-hmm. What they're doing is they open up very little. And I think that's a safe way to do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, so I'll give an example of what I do. This is like around people in group settings. I share information that I don't mind people knowing, but I'll only share it with one person. This way I know if somebody else comes to me with that information, I know exactly who it's come from and I know who not to trust. Mm-hmm. Right? In the beginning stages of a relationship, right? You should be sharing what you don't mind everybody else knowing. You should be sharing a little bit about yourself that everybody pretty much knows. And then once trust is gained and developed, you start sharing a little bit more intimate things, right? Like on a first date, right? If me and Andrea goes out on a date and she's been molested in the past, she's not going to probably start off the date saying, hey, so back when I was so-and-so, I was molested. That's an intimate detail that she should not be sharing because who am I, right? Who am I? On the dating stages, it should happen, but little by little until the person that develops that trust. So with guys, it's the same way, but we have put up some safeguards.
You change. I had a boyfriend back in my younger days, and he was overly emotional. And I took that for weakness, but also I was a different person over 15 years ago or so. So I definitely see what Harrison was saying. I definitely made him feel, I came straight out and said, like, you're weak. And even to this day, that man is still suffering, with his emotions. And I feel like I have caused that. So, thankfully, I'm not in that situation anymore. But even in my marriage, like 10 years into it, like my husband is just now starting to open up and to be able to be emotional with me. So I also understand and recognize what Real said, that, it's true. Like when boys are small, they're told to suppress that. Don't cry, be a man. And I never looked at it like that. So actually, I'm learning a lot from you guys right now, from each and every view, because
I think he was playing football, and he was like, he got hit. And the first minute, he was come out the field like he was about to cry. I was like, "Oh no, man up!" I don't see no tears. But after the game, we went home. I said, "How is it?" He was like, "Mom, I'm about to cry." I was like, "On the field, we can't show no emotions. But when you get home, we can show all the emotions." Okay, but he talks to me. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about a lot of things through football, and we talk about a lot of things through like men stuff. Like when Michael Vick had the dog fighting, we would talk about that, and we would add to the conversation. So I would bring what he loved and add to the conversation. But he's good about his emotions. I can say something to him, but sometimes my tongue is very lethal. So sometimes I have to watch what I say to him so I won't damage him, because sometimes I got a tongue is lethal and I don't play.
You preaching to the choir.
I ain't gonna lie, my tongue will be lethal, but I have to know sometimes when it not to put that pressure on him and take it to that next level. But sometimes we can go toe to toe, and I don't want to do that to him.
I'll let Dre go because he is a man, and men, they are the rulers and creators of all things, and they are leaders. So Dre, Harrison Family Vlogs, if you would like to go before me, King.
Erica's camera fell down.
Wait, let me see if this works, because she does this. When people do that to her, let me see if this works. Because
Peace begins with me.
Peace
begins with
me. Because the brother's about to turn up. All right, no, I'm kidding. All right, so
anything I got to say, he always say I'm combative. He always say I disagree. He always say I got something to say. He always say he don't.
Honestly,
why did Real just break out?
I'm gonna tell you why.
He ain't lying.
You have to ask yourself, are you combative all the time with him? Are you like so?
I'm
Andrea.
But he feels like, but the thing is, he's from the old school. He like 74 and I'm 46. And see, I feel like when you get grown parents and your child is grown. If the parent is grown, the child is grown. we should have a different relationship. But he feels like he's from the old school. I'm still do what he say, and I'm still saying I'm grown and I live in my own place.
And he's always been that, even when you were younger. When
when I'm younger, he like that, and I'm trying. This is the new thing for me. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, but it's a hard thing to do. I'm just saying, okay, Daddy, but I ain't happy with it.
You know what though? Because, and I'm not saying this to be facetious or anything else, anything like that this time. Men or males in general just do not be thinking about anything that's worth sharing. Most of the time, they're thinking about, oh, that car looked nice, or I wonder how much shoes cost today. Like, they're not really.
Is it the waffle brain, Nita?
It is. It's really nothing. I asked my
Waffle
partner.
If
We
I
were
can-
driving. We were riding in the car
I think
one
so.
day, and it got really quiet. So I'm like, "What you thinking about?" And he was like, "How I just beat such and such in this game." And I was like, "That's what you're thinking about? But that's what you often talk about." But it wasn't. It's literally nothing worth sharing. He just thought about whatever.
I just feel
You're
like
asking.
women, like us as women, like we're
But
such,
majority of the time, it's not.
like, I just feel like us as women, like we're such dimensional creatures. We're such dimensional thinkers. Like our thoughts go a thought within a thought within a thought within a thought, back to the first thought, and jump to the third thought. We're dimensional. We're not just third dimensional. Bam, there we are. But we're like on some other dimension with our thinking, like we don't need to just think forward, but we think in all different directions. So that's why I feel like when I ask my husband, hey babe, what are you thinking right now? Because his face looks interesting. Like he looks like he's thinking really deeply right now. And then he says nothing. And I'm like, but by the time you just said nothing, I just had like 500 thoughts just now.